everyone. Welcome to the third broadcast of the virtual walk to end bladder cancer. My name is Jennifer Stowe-Story, and I have the honor of being your host today. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network, or as many know it, Beacon. Today's broadcast, again, as I mentioned, is brought to you by Beacon. And in case you're not familiar with Beacon, they are a community of patients, caregivers, survivors, advocates, and medical and research professionals united in support of people impacted by bladder cancer. Each year, Beacon provides thousands of patients, caregivers, and the medical community with the educational resources and support services they need to navigate their bladder cancer journeys. Beacon also works collaboratively with the medical and research professionals who are dedicated to improving patient outcomes. I am so excited to be here today to celebrate our vibrant and wonderful community and also to support those who have been impacted by bladder cancer. There are more than 712,000 people living with bladder cancer in the United States, and this year alone, more than 81,000 people will be diagnosed with the disease. To put that in perspective, there are more people living with bladder cancer in the U.S. than the entire populations of Wyoming or Vermont. Your support of the virtual walk today and throughout the year enables Beacon to provide critically needed educational programs and support services to bladder cancer patients and those who love them. In addition to this virtual walk broadcast, walks to end bladder cancer are taking place today all over the place in Boston, Chicago, Columbus, Nashville, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. And we hope to show you some of the energy and enthusiasm from those walks and want to extend a special shout out to the folks in Chicago, where the sun has come out today, who are watching live. Thank you for everything you do for bladder cancer patients in the Windy City. Don't forget to post some pictures on social media and be sure to tag them with the hashtag BladderWalk. Before beginning our program, I would like to thank the national sponsors who made it possible to celebrate our walks today and beyond. The national presenting sponsors are the Astellas Seagen Alliance and the EMD Serono Pfizer Alliance. The national leadership sponsors are Pacific Edge, Genentech, Merck, and Eurogen Pharma. Our national patron sponsors are AstraZeneca, Janssen Oncology, and Photocure. Our friend sponsor is Ambu. You'll get to hear from representatives of many of these companies in later segments about why they think it's important to raise awareness of bladder cancer, help improve the lives of patients and caregivers, and to fund life-saving research. If you are watching this broadcast and would like to give a shout out to your walk team, fellow patients or caregivers, or that special someone in your bladder cancer journey, please post on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or in the comments section of this broadcast, and be sure to tag your post with Bladder Walk. We'll do our best to give you a shout out during today's broadcast. In our first video, we'll get started with a cheer from Gabriella, our official Beacon cheerleader, as well as members from the Beacon community. But first, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the CEO of the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network, Andrea Maddox-Smith, who will welcome you to the walk. Here's our video.
Hi, I'm Andrea, CEO for the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network, and I would like to welcome you to the 2022 Walk to End Bladder Cancer virtual event today. Your support is actually threefold. One, it allows us to increase awareness about bladder cancer. Next, it helps us to build our community of individuals impacted by bladder cancer so that no one feels alone in their journey. And finally, it allows Beacon to continue providing free education and support services for anyone who needs it. Now it's time to lace up your shoes, join your family and friends for a walk outside, have a great time, while at the same time making a meaningful difference in the life of a bladder cancer patient. Thank you, and have a great time.
No one walks alone. Beacon is the best, so you can put us to the test. Beat bladder cancer.
Kendra Froelich, Why I Walk. This year, Team Froelich is participating in the Philadelphia Walk to End Bladder Cancer to raise funds for Beacon in honor of Dr. Kurt Froelich. While he was battling bladder cancer, Kurt participated in several research studies. He endured extra blood draws and biopsies, extra scans and interviews. You name it, he did it. And he did it all knowing that while it was sadly too late to help him, it just might make a difference for someone just like him one day. Kurt truly believed in and supported Beacon while he was alive, and Team Froelich is continuing his legacy by participating in this year's walk. In the past 2 years, Team Froelich has raised more than $18,000.
Hey, Beacon family. My name is Terry Starling, and I live in Scarborough, Maine. I actually have a couple of roles within the Beacon family up here. So I am team walk captain this year. It's totally looking forward to the walk for 2022. Always remember, you are not walking alone. There's people all over the country doing this with you. And I'm also an active board member on the Beacon chapter that we established here in Northern New England. So my father was diagnosed with bladder cancer a couple of years ago. And at that time, I realized there weren't really many resources available for him here locally. So I teamed up with some really fabulous people, some nurse navigators, friends, family, and we helped establish the Northern New England chapter up here. So looking forward to walking with you all. Hope you guys are looking forward to it too. And just keep in mind, you truly, truly never walk alone.
Beacon constituents want to learn about bladder cancer from leading experts in the field and to be able to interact with them to get their questions answered. To accomplish this, Beacon's Patient Insight webinars provide a popular, interactive online setting where participants can see and hear presentations from experts on important bladder cancer topics from a computer, phone, or tablet. Each year, Beacon conducts a minimum of 10 Patient Insight webinars, free of charge. These hour-long educational sessions help to increase a patient's and caregiver's understanding of key issues related to bladder cancer diagnosis, treatment, and quality of life. Beacon also provides opportunities for participants to ask questions of bladder cancer key opinion leaders during the live webinars. In addition, the webinars enable us to create lasting online resources, including written transcripts for patients to access after the webinars take place.
Hello, I am Enrique Lenero, Executive Medical Director in Medical Affairs Global Oncology at Astellas Pharma. Astellas is a pharmaceutical company dedicated of improving the health of people around the world through innovative medicines, including those for bladder cancer. We send our thanks to Beacon for the important work you do, and best of luck of all the dedicated workers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lill, an Executive Director in Global Medical Affairs at Seagen. Seagen is a global biotech company committed to improving the lives of patients with cancer through innovative and targeted therapies. This walk is a highlight for us each and every year, and we're so thrilled to have the opportunity for many employees to participate in the 2022 walk.
We're seeing some real energy in the walk community today, both on the pavement and on social media. So we want to go out and give some awesome shout outs here. Via Twitter, we have Randy. He said the sun came out for Bladder Walk 2022 in Chicago. Yay, perfect. It's been a while for that sun, right? And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing, Randy, and thanks for sharing that. From Pete, also on Twitter. Oh, this is fantastic. Pete, orange suspenders, check. Orange boa, check. Time to start our walk to end bladder cancer in Los Angeles. Way to go, Pete. Oh, we're not done with Pete. Look what else we have. He has his dog, Bowie, who's also all decked out in orange. Bowie has his orange check. Time for the walk to end bladder cancer, bladder walk. Oh, thank you, Pete and Bowie, and also Rebecca from Instagram. She's also participating. That's a fantastic photo there. 2022 DC walk to end bladder cancer, where it looks like it's quite rainy there. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, even amid the rain. And another one from Twitter from Cheryl. Greatly appreciate the support of our Columbus survivors, families, friends, and sponsors for our bladder walk to cure bladder cancer. Thank you all so much and for your participation and for posting on social. And just like these folks did, do not forget to post on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube using the hashtag bladder walk so we can give you a big beacon shout out just like we just did during this broadcast. We're looking at you, walkers in Boston, Columbus, Nashville, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. We love those action shots. Our next segment is about caregivers. As a former cancer caregiver myself, I continue to be impressed with the amazing caregivers in the bladder cancer community. In our upcoming segment, you'll see some video from the Long Island Walk to End Bladder Cancer that took place 2 weeks ago, as well as hear from a very special caregiver, Beata Baker. Bladder cancer caregivers play such an important and sometimes overlooked role. They give tirelessly to their loved ones and help complement the medical care that patients receive. I like the expression, a joy shared is doubled, a burden shared is halved, because it speaks to the critical role that caregivers play, sharing the burdens and joys with the people they care about who are facing this terrible disease. Here's more.
The average age of a bladder cancer patient at diagnosis is 73, and the Pew Research Center estimates that there are over 40 million unpaid caregivers of adults age 65 and older in the United States. Understanding this need, Beacon has developed an online and print caregiver handbook in collaboration with our volunteer bladder cancer care committee. This free resource is a companion piece to our signature handbook, Bladder Cancer Basics for Newly Diagnosed Patients, and provides bladder cancer patient caregivers with helpful information, tools, and resources to navigate this challenging journey. We developed the Caregiver Handbook with the objective of increasing a caregiver's understanding of significant topics concerning the diagnosis, treatment, and quality of life issues related to bladder cancer. We also want to help educate caregivers as patient advocates and empower them to be more fully equipped to care for their loved ones. In addition, we want to create an enduring online resource for caregivers.
I got the bladder cancer diagnosis before I'd even fully entered the surgeon's office. And ever since we met, ever since we got married, nothing in my life has really counted until I share it with my partner. So part of my frustration at being told the diagnosis before I had even had a chance to sit down was none of this matters until my better half is part of the equation and hears this from the doctor the same time in the same way that I do.
And when Stephen came out into the waiting room and got me and immediately said, it's cancer, and I went into that fog, but by the time we got into the doctor's office, I had my notebook out and it was like, okay, what are the facts? What's the prognosis? What are the facts? What do we have to do?
But having an advocate to fight for me, to listen and to say, no, we're not going to do that, or this isn't working, we need to try something else. I really wasn't comfortable rocking the boat or, expressing my opinion or my feelings about some of these things. But as my advocate, Beata was quite good at making certain that my needs and wants were being addressed. And listened to. That allowed me to stop personalizing and being so invested in the logistics and to focus more on the care. Think of what you need in logistics, in food, in safety, in finance. Help them help you, because we were in the thick of it and learning every day.
Brian Sterling, Why I Walk. 2022 will be Brian's 8th year of participating in the annual Walk to End Bladder Cancer, and he's proud to have raised over $10,000 so far for this great cause. This year, Brian will be participating in the New York City Walk with fellow members of a NeoBladder support group, which has become his new family from around the country and beyond.
Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm from New Jersey. I'm a proud supporter of BCAN and all they do for bladder cancer awareness and research. Did you know that in 2022, there will be 81,000 new bladder cancer patients and 17,000 people that won't survive the disease? This is why I'm choosing to walk. In February of 2022, my brother Jason was diagnosed with stage 2 bladder cancer. Though the diagnosis is not what we hoped for, through my brother's faith and commitment to his friends and family, he's staying positive, currently in treatment, and ready to kick cancer's butt. For my brother and all those fighting, I know there might be moments when you feel like you're going through this alone. My team and I are walking to let my brother and all those fighting know you're not alone. No one fights alone, and no one walks alone. Please join us in walking for such a wonderful cause and to raise awareness on the 6 most commonly diagnosed cancer in the United States in 2022. In the words of my brother, don't be afraid to be great. We love you, Jay.
Hi, my name is Gabby Murphy. I'm the head of oncology for EMD Toronto, USA. So on behalf of EMD Toronto, I just want to welcome everyone to the annual BCAN Walk to End Bladder Cancer. BCAN is one of the largest national advocacy group devoted for bladder cancer, increasing the awareness, pushing for the research, and also for the support for everyone who had cancer and also caregivers. We were really delighted to support the walk since 2017. And as you probably know, EMD Toronto are putting patients and the caregiver at the center of our day-to-day. And this is increasing our purpose to make sure that we are supporting all our activity to prolong life, but also to improving the day-to-day for patients and caregivers. So I just want to thank you all for your participation and thank you to make a difference. So have a good walk.
Just another reminder that if you are out walking or even avoiding the rain by watching this indoors, take a picture or a selfie and post it on Facebook or Twitter and use the hashtag BladderWalk. We would love to feature you on this broadcast. Well, it is time to announce the 3 finalists for the annual Beacon of Hope Award. This award is given to that special person in the lives of bladder cancer patients, the person who has gone the extra mile to provide support, compassion, and hope. Beacon received more than 80 nominations this year, a record, and I'm told that it was not easy selecting just 3 finalists. But here they are. I'm happy to announce that the finalists for this year's Beacon of Hope Award are Karen Godfrey, Dr. James McKiernan, and Bill Russell. Congratulations to all 3 of you. Our first nominee, Karen Godfrey, has been involved with Beacon since almost the very beginning. She is very active on the Beacon Inspire community and even organizes a bladder cancer support group in her home state of Florida. Karen is a bladder cancer survivor and gives so much to the community. Here's what one of the people who nominated Karen had to say about her. Karen has spent numerous hours on the phone with me before and after my surgery. I texted her when I was in the ER at 7 a.m. and she responded with a phone call. It was so reassuring to hear her calm and comforting voice, as well as the course of action she suggested. She followed up with me a couple of days later to be sure my issue was resolved. So glad I was connected with this knowledgeable and helpful lady. She is the best. Congratulations, Karen, again. Our next nominee is Dr. James McKiernan, a urologic oncologist who was nominated by 3 different people. One person nominating him said, Dr. McKiernan has been the most compassionate, understanding, articulate medical professional I have ever encountered. Another added, it is first and foremost Dr. McKiernan's compassion that made him a beacon of hope for my husband and me. Although my husband has passed recently, the last few years would have been infinitely more difficult without Dr. McKiernan. He really is a beacon of hope for those with bladder cancer and for the practice of medicine as a whole. Congratulations, Dr. McKiernan. Last but certainly not least, our third nominee is Bill Russell. Bill is a bladder cancer survivor and patient advocate in the Pittsburgh area and has been involved with Beacon for more than 11 years. Bill was nominated by 3 different people. One person said, Bill was a tremendous help to me and my husband as we navigated the post-op experience. Most importantly, he was always positive and patient with all of our questions. We will always be grateful for Bill's expertise during a very confusing time. Another person said, Bill was a great help to my brother Rudy, giving him advice on how to deal with his ostomy and giving him encouragement when he needed it. He stayed in touch with Rudy just to talk and see if he needed anything until Rudy's passing. And finally, a final congratulations to Bill and all of you. So as you have seen, we have 3 very deserving nominees for the second Beacon of Hope Award. The next part is up to you. Voting is now open at beacon.org/vote. And the nominee who receives the most votes between now and May 22nd will win the 2022 award. Be sure to stuff that ballot box. You can vote once a day. Ask your friends and family to vote too. The winner will be announced during Beacon's Ask the Experts live event on May 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll hear more about this event later in the broadcast. While the event is free, registration is required, so please visit beacon.org/ask to save your spot. Last year was the first year for the Beacon of Hope Award, and the winner was Noelle Lipman, a bladder cancer survivor herself and a wonderful support for another bladder cancer patient and the person who nominated her, Dan Miller. You'll hear from Dan and his wife Linda later in this segment. Again, even if you're on the couch avoiding the rain, here's another reminder to post on Facebook and Twitter, as well as in the comments section underneath our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube broadcasts. Be sure to use the hashtag BladderWalk.
Megan McClendon, Why I Walk. Team McClendon is excited to be participating in this year's Walk to End Bladder Cancer in Washington, D.C. to promote bladder cancer awareness and to ensure that no one walks alone. Since 2020, the team has raised over $18,000 to help Beacon promote research, education, advocacy, and support, and most importantly, to save lives of those navigating this complex, frightening disease. As a survivor, Megan sees the need as urgent as ever to continue to improve outcomes for bladder cancer patients everywhere. Thank you, Megan.
Hi, we're Dan and Linda Miller, and we currently reside in Bluffton, South Carolina.
Beacon has been an important part of our lives since the day of the phone call 18 months ago. A guardian angel reached out to us that evening. She brought a Beacon information package along with her.
And using that information, we were able to start sorting through literally the hundreds of thoughts that were jamming our minds. What was going to happen? What needs to happen?
Where can we find additional resources and information? How do we make sense of what is in front of us? Who can help us?
But we were also given a tip that literally changed the course of my treatment. We received a recommendation for obtaining a second opinion, the outcome of which began to open doors for us on our journey in dealing with a bladder cancer diagnosis.
In the 18 months since the diagnosis, we have come to appreciate even more the extent of the Beacon resources, not only for patients and caregivers, but also for family and supporters, the medical community, and the public in general.
So why do we walk for the cure? Well, first and foremost, we believe in the mission and goals of BCAN.
The resources available, all without charge, are outstanding. The Survivor to Survivor program, caregiver mentoring and support.
The informational webinars for those diagnosed, for the medical community, for those who want to learn more about the options potentially available.
How to find facilities that offer the very best in treatment and treatment options across the range of chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and clinical trials.
Exposure to those working directly for a cure. I know that the information that we get from BCAN resources helps us to better prepare for each oncology encounter that we have with the medical team. And that has enhanced our relationship with the medical team. A key interest for us in the future of bladder cancer activities is that some of the funds raised through the Walk for the Cure look to improve early detection of bladder cancer. We know that advances in early detection of colon and prostate cancers have made a tremendous impact on the significant improvement in survivor rates for those over the past 20 plus years.
The same can be possible for bladder cancer, but we are not there yet.
It may not make a difference in my personal outcome.
But in the future, to think that survivor rates approaching those found today for colon and prostate cancers is certainly attainable, and that's why we walk. We live it each day as a gift and a treasure. Reading stories of other bladder cancer patients and survivors continually renews our hope.
So hope brings us to a final comment. We mentioned our guardian angel appeared on our doorstep 18 months ago on the evening of the phone call. BCAN recognizes the importance of hope, and last year initiated the Beacon of Hope Award. We nominated our guardian angel, who became the eventual winner of the first award.
If you think about your personal journey, perhaps you have a touch point of hope, be it a family member, a friend, someone you learned about who has become a personal inspiration, a medical team member who has made a difference for you, or maybe from some other source.
And making a nomination is easy enough through the bcan.org website. The rest is up to the community once the finalists are identified. We all have beacons of hope. Please consider a nomination and a donation.
Join us for the walk on May the 7th. We have a virtual team of family and friends spanning the country, all pulling for one goal: find a cure.
Remember, no one walks or fights alone.
At the time of a diagnosis, bladder cancer patients and caregivers are thrust into unfamiliar territory, not knowing what questions to ask or what to do. Over the years, more than 500,000 print and digital copies of Beacon's Bladder Cancer Basics for the Newly Diagnosed have helped patients and caregivers navigate difficult waters as they embark upon their bladder cancer journey. The newly updated 52-page comprehensive patient guide provides detailed explanations about the risks, diagnosis, staging, and treatment of bladder cancer, all in one resource. This book is regularly reviewed by members of Beacon's Scientific Advisory Board to ensure that it reflects current advances. Print and digital versions are available, free of charge, both in English and in Spanish.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Michelle Vicknan. I lead our Global Patient Advocacy and Strategic Alliances team here at Merck, a company dedicated to bring important medications and vaccines to patients. We are pleased to support Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network's 2022 Walks to End Bladder Cancer. Congratulations and enjoy your event. Best wishes to all.
Hello, I'm Mark Schoenberg, Chief Medical Officer at UroGen Pharma. As a practicing urologist, I see firsthand the burden bladder cancer has on patients and their families, and the urgent need for better treatment options. That's why I'm especially proud that UroGen sponsors the Beacon Walk to End Bladder Cancer. We support Beacon's goal of improving the national conversation about bladder cancer and advancing research to find better treatments. UroGen strives to fundamentally change the way urologic cancers are treated because patients and their families deserve better. Thank you for joining us on this journey to end bladder cancer. Every step you take counts. Enjoy the walk, and thanks again for your support.
We've got some great activity from people all across the country taking part to help end bladder cancer. Like I said, on the pavement and also on the interweb. Let's head to social here for a second and see what we have. Oh, this is a fantastic update. Wonderful update from Terry. She said, I have been quiet lately. Family always comes first. I have good news today. My hubby is cancer free. Woohoo! Thanks for all the support, and it feels like we can breathe a little deeper. Our prayers and faith have kept us strong. This is proof positive that advocates and what everyone is doing today and throughout the year truly makes a difference. Please give your hubby a big hug from all of us. That's wonderful. Stephanie in Chicago, Bladder Walk Chicago is starting. Woohoo! Keep on going. Get those steps in. Thank you, Stephanie. Katie on Twitter says, sad to be missing the Boston Beacon Walk due to T-ball, but walking virtually. Well, we have to take care of those kiddos, and no doubt he's getting some steps in too. So there you go. Way to go, Katie. And from Guru, just completed 2022 Walk to End Bladder Cancer Boston today. Thanks to a ton of at Bladder Cancer US for advancing care and research. Excellent participation. Love that group photo there. Thank you so much, Guru. Fantastic. And thank your group. Lauren Screeden. My mom spent much of her 7-year battle with bladder cancer working with Beacon to help raise awareness. I walk each May in her memory and in honor of those still fighting the disease. Your participation and support means the world to me and helps save lives. Take a walk with someone you love this weekend. Bonus points if it's with your mom. So true, Lauren. Thank you so much in thinking of you this Mother's Day. In this next video, we'll hear from Laura Donna Mattia, who recently participated in the Philadelphia Walk to End Bladder Cancer in honor of her father-in-law. Stories like those from Laura Donna remind us that each person with the disease has his or her own very special story. It's also important to recognize that, as I said earlier, more than 81,000 people will be diagnosed with bladder cancer, and 17,000 will not survive the disease, people like Laura Donna's father-in-law. We'll also hear from our patient advocate extraordinaire and newly minted Beacon of Hope nominee, Bill Russell, who came armed with his pom-poms and Beacon noisemaker. I'm not joking you. Take a watch.
Hi, my name is Loredana Mattia. I'm from Churchville, Pennsylvania, and I want to share with you why I support the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network each year. I will be walking alongside my team, Gianni's Angels, in the Philadelphia Walk. I started my team in 2015 after my father lost his battle with stage 4 bladder cancer. Bladder cancer is among the top 10 most frequently diagnosed cancers, but the least recognized and understood. There will be approximately 84,000 newly diagnosed cases this year, and 64,000 of them which are men. The average diagnosed age is 73. My father, John, was 71. The Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network is near to my heart, and they encourage me to raise funds each year, but also more importantly, to raise awareness, because they support everyone who's impacted by this disease with real stories, clinical research, and treatment options. I encourage you to check them out today, and I want to say thank you to all who support my team. Each year, I'm grateful for you and your support to the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network.
Hello, my name is Bill Russell, and I am the walk organizer for the Pittsburgh, Midmont Valley, Pennsylvania area. I've been a Beacon advocate for about 11 years and a 12-year bladder cancer survivor, having had my own bladder removed in June of 2010. I've been a team captain for about 8 years and a walk organizer for 3. My goal today is to get you excited and motivated to walk along with us in support of Beacon. Now, as you can see, I'm all ready for the walk. I have my t-shirt on with our slogan down the bottom, "No one walks alone." And I believe that means no one walks alone because Beacon has our backs. Yes, we're all here because of Beacon. It's because of Beacon that we have each other's backs. Beacon is the one that's brought us all together. So it's true, no one walks alone in their bladder cancer journey, thanks to Beacon. Now, I have my official Beacon pom-poms, as you can see, and my very own Beacon noisemaker. So please join with me as we walk with and for each other in support of Beacon so that they can continue to do what they do so well, and that is support the bladder cancer community. I encourage you to get your friends, your family, your cohorts to join with us as we walk to support this amazing organization. Thank you so much for all of your time, your donations, and your efforts to support Beacon.
Hello, we are from Carolina Urologic Research Center and will be participating in the Beacon Walk to Bladder Cancer. Bladder cancer is the sixth most diagnosed cancer in the United States. Every day at our research facility, we see how our patients and their loved ones are affected by bladder cancer.
We are excited to participate in the Beacon Walk to End Bladder Cancer to raise awareness of bladder cancer and help further Beacon's mission to provide education and support for those impacted by this disease, as well as promote bladder cancer research.
Please join us with Beacon in the fight to end bladder cancer. Thank you for your support.
Sometimes you just need to talk to someone who truly understands. Beacon's Survivor to Survivor program offers phone support for bladder cancer patients who have questions or just want to talk to someone about their bladder cancer journey. The Survivor to Survivor program connects newly diagnosed cancer patients as well as caregivers with volunteer bladder cancer survivors and co-survivors who've had similar experiences. Many bladder cancer patients want to know more about things like what to expect with a surgery or procedure or a treatment, and how other survivors approach getting back to normal. If you're a bladder cancer patient and would like to be matched with a survivor, please call us at 301-215-9099. That's 301-215-9099. And leave a message at extension 212.
Hi, I'm Meg Harrison, Patient Advocacy Relations at Genentech. We are thrilled to continue our partnership with Beacon to raise awareness and educate patients, caregivers, and the general public about bladder cancer. For over 8 years, Genentech has offered specific support to Beacon for the walks, and we are really excited to do so again in 2022. Genentech is proud to walk beside Beacon and all of you. From all of us, thank you so much for your commitment. See you at the walk.
Hello, I'm Gerhard Schultz, Vice President of Marketing for Pacific Edge Diagnostics, the company that brings you Cxbladder, the non-invasive urine-based genomic test for bladder cancer that also offers the comfort and convenience of in-home sampling. As proud as we are to offer Cxbladder to aid in the detection and surveillance of bladder cancer, we are equally as proud to be able to partner with Beacon for these fantastic walks to help raise awareness of bladder cancer, as we believe Bladder Cancer Awareness Month should be every month, not just May. Have a great walk today and be well.
We're back, and I think it's so wonderful to see all of the wonderful social media posts and all of the action that you guys are taking today. It means the world. And I would love to share with you the top fundraising teams that we have right now. In number one spot, UCSF Bladder Heroes out of San Francisco. Number 2, Team Froelich out of Philly. Team 3, 2022, Team Seagen. And in the number 4 spot, we have Fred Hutch Bladder Cancer Team. Number 5, Brave for Dave out of New York. And Doug's Dogs also out of Seattle. Way to go, you guys. That's fantastic. Another post from Rebecca walking in DC. Another dog there. Great for the doggos, also getting their steps in, helping us all out. Another one from Pete saying our official team starting point, the walking man for Team Blad to the Bone Los Angeles. Thank you so much, Pete. And thank you all of you for sending your social media posts and for taking the time out of your day, rain or shine, to make a difference in ending bladder cancer. In this next segment, we'll hear from Margot, who is a survivor of a rare, very aggressive type of bladder cancer, as well as from Beacon co-founder Diane Sapersky-Qualley to tell us about a unique, free opportunity to interact with 2 of the leading bladder cancer doctors in the United States at our upcoming Ask the Experts event on May 25th. Again, to save your seat at the free-to-attend Ask the Experts online event, please visit beacon.org/ask. Here's our next segment.
Dr. Benjamin Myron, Why I Walk. As a medical oncology fellow at Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia and a 2021 Palm Beach New Discoveries Young Investigator Award recipient, Dr. Myron is walking to recognize all who are living with or who have survived bladder cancer, to thank them for their generosity in participating in the research that he does to improve patient care for this disease. He supports Beacon for being instrumental in advocating and providing resources for patients and researchers alike to advance the mission to cure bladder cancer.
I'm Margot Wickersham, and I am a survivor of bladder cancer. I was diagnosed in January of 2020 with an aggressive form of stage 1 bladder cancer. Of course, that was shocking, and I had no idea what to do next. I didn't know one single thing about bladder cancer. It is not a cancer that's discussed or talked about a lot in our society, and that is one of the reasons I feel so strongly about supporting Beacon. Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network was there for me and provided resources, support, and help during a really critical time in my life. So having access to the network of survivors and the resources available from Beacon, the videos to help me understand what to expect, the stories from the other folks who have battled cancer, all of the resources, so much information was available. That was even more important to me maybe than some other people because during quarantine, the usual family activities and support that was offered through MD Anderson wasn't available. There were no in-person events or support or classes or any of that. So I leaned very heavily on Beacon, and thank goodness that I did. That's all I had while I was in the hospital. I want to encourage everybody to sign up for the Walk for Bladder Cancer. This is a great way to raise awareness, and certainly anytime we walk is a good thing. Because the more we can do to show people that this is a cancer that's out there and that can take lives, and that there are ways that we can save lives, the better. I feel very strongly about supporting Beacon and want to encourage other people to do so as well. You may be able to help touch a life like mine and make such a big difference in my life that it has impacted me for the rest of my life. So I want to encourage you to donate, and I want to encourage you to join the walk and any other ways that you can to help raise awareness, raise funds to do research, to fight bladder cancer, and help other people like me and like the others you've seen to have life again and enjoy life on the other side of this terrible disease.
I'm Diane Zapersky-Crawley, the co-founder of Beacon, and I hope you will join me on Wednesday, May 25th for our Ask the Experts event. This is a unique opportunity for you to ask questions of two leading bladder cancer specialists, both of whom were the recipients of Beacon Young Investigator Awards. Joining us for Ask the Experts will be Dr. Sumit Banvadia from the USC Norris Cancer Center and Dr. Gopa Iyer from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Ask the Experts will be via Zoom on Wednesday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Attendance is free, but you do need to register. So please go to beacon.org/ask. That's BCAN.org/ask to register. And it's during the registration process that you can also submit your questions for our experts. And during the Ask the Experts event, we also will be announcing the recipient of the 2022 Beacon of Hope Award, which goes to that individual who has served as a beacon of light to someone facing bladder cancer. Please join us for this wonderful evening. Thank you.
Hi, this is Ken Pugh, Head of North American Marketing and Alliance Management with Photocure. Once again, we are very happy to support Beacon in the 2022 walk. We've been supporting Beacon for the past several years, since 2013, because of the transformative work Beacon does for the medical community, as well as transforming the lives of patients with bladder cancer. And we at Photocure are dedicated to the same. Thank you, Beacon, for all that you do.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rodney Gillespie, the Vice President of Oncology Sales and Marketing for our solid tumor franchise at Janssen. And on behalf of Janssen Oncology, I wanted to express our gratitude to the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network for bringing the community together for this important event. And I also want to express our gratitude for all that you do to support patients and families who are living with the bladder cancer diagnosis. What I love about events like this is it allows us to connect directly with the bladder cancer community. And it makes a big difference to meet people where they are and then be involved beyond the medicine. In the United States alone, it's estimated that over 17,000 people will die from bladder cancer this year. And while bladder cancer is more commonly diagnosed in white men, Black men are more likely to die from this disease as well. And at Janssen Oncology, we are driven by our mission to reimagine care, redefine living, as we work to address health disparities and ensure patients in every community live longer, better lives with their bladders. We are proud to partner with BCAN and honored to support the 2022 virtual walk to end bladder cancer.
Hello, I'm Ashish Kamat, Professor of Urology at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. It gives me great pleasure to be here today to announce that MD Anderson is a proud sponsor of the 2022 Virtual Walk to End Bladder Cancer. We are grateful for the impactful work that Beacon does for our patients with bladder cancer. As you know, MD Anderson has been ranked #1 for cancer care for several years, including in the year 2021. We do this through state-of-the-art surgery, innovative therapies, and also by partnering with advocacy groups such as Beacon to help educate patients with bladder cancer and towards our common goal to ease the suffering of patients with bladder cancer, both in the US and globally. On behalf of my team here at MD Anderson, I want to thank Beacon for all that you do for our patients. And again, we are pleased and proud to join you and sponsor the 2022 Virtual Walk to End Bladder Cancer.
Hi, I'm Kamal Pohar. I'm a urologist at the James Cancer Hospital at Ohio State University. We here at the James are thrilled to be sponsors of this year's walk. It gives us an opportunity to bond together, support each other, and find solutions together to beat this disease.
Thank you to everyone who is active on social media right now and participating in our walks, rain or shine. It's running the gamut across the country, that's for sure. Let's give a shout out to a few of them. We have some great pictures here. Stephanie says via Twitter, "What a bladder walk crowd in Chicago." I would say, look at that group. She also has another post that says, "Great messages." Looks like the same group, and they have some nice posters there cheering people on. That's fantastic. And Aaron says, "Austin, we're doing it." Inaugural bladder walk in the Texas Capitol. So incredible to this community from the ground up here and come together. This is just the beginning. Thank you all so very much. Keep up the awesome work. Well, it's time to get all loosened up and limber for our final segment. Last year, participants in Beacon's Walk to End Bladder Cancer took more than 22 million steps in support of those with bladder cancer. And this year, we hope for even more. Speaking of steps, a 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step, and we'll be taking that first step in this next segment. First, though, we're going to get a terrific warm-up from Jewel, who will help us get ready and loose and ready to walk. We'll also see some clips from the wonderful Walk to End Bladder Cancer that took place a week ago in Philadelphia. And in addition, Gabriella, our own official Beacon cheerleader, will get us started with another cheer. Here's our next segment. Enjoy.
Be, a beacon of hope. Be, a beacon of hope. Be, a beacon of hope.
I'm Jewel from Maryland. I'm here to give you a warm-up. I'm so glad to be part of the Walk to End Bladder Cancer, where no one walks alone, all right? So I hope you join me in this really quick warm-up. Get warmed up for our walks. All right, let's go. We're going to start marching it out. Shoulders back, chest up. Keep going. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. We're going to step touch. Abs are tight. Keep that body alignment. Grapevine. You got it. Just 3 to the right, 3 to the left. And march it out. March it wide. Step touch, right, left. And march it out, right, left. Let's walk up and back. Up, tap, and back. Tap. And march it out. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale. Again. 2 more. Last one. Now we're going to tap right. Tap your toes. Keep that body aligned. tap for 2. 2. 2. Taking it in and out. And march it out. Walk it up. 1, 2, 3, and back. Pick it up and back. Last time. Step tap. Let's take those arms out to the side. Slowly circle. Go the other way. Reverse. Other way. Right here, we're going to reach. Cross. Reach up. Across your chest. Press. 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 Take your arms up. Alternate. Cross the chest. Arms up. Across the chest. And march it out. Looking good. 4, 3, 2. Now this time, we're going to do a step curl. Step curl. Let's do 2. Each side. Singles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and march it out. Right up. Good job. Let's go to that out, in. And march it out. Let's stop right here and tap that right foot. Just tap it. Other side, just tap. 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 Together. Tap. Move up. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Beautiful. All right. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Have a great walk, and I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.
Well, I don't know about you, but Gabriella's cheer and Jules' warm up there has me raring to go and walking to end bladder cancer. That was contagious, that's for sure. Way to go. Thank you all for tuning in and being part of this special day, along with hundreds of others from the bladder cancer community participating in person and virtually. This is such a wonderful reminder of our slogan, "No one walks alone," and they truly don't. Before we finish, I would like to say thank you to all the amazing members of the Beacon community for working so hard to end bladder cancer and support those who are facing it. Thank you, patients, caregivers, advocates, medical and research professionals, and others who are so dedicated to raise the crucial funds that help Beacon continue to support bladder cancer
Glad to the bone,
patients
team.
and those who love them. Don't forget, though, that it's not too late to do your own virtual
Bowie.
walk. If you are interested in doing your own walk, simply visit beaconwalk.org to sign up. I'd also like to say another quick thank you to our walk sponsors. The national presenting sponsors are the Astellas Seagen Alliance and the EMD Serono Pfizer Alliance. The national leadership sponsors are Pacific Edge, Genentech, Merck, and Eurogen Pharma. Our national patron sponsors are AstraZeneca, Janssen Oncology, and Photocure. And our friend sponsor is Ambu. So thank you, community. Thank you, sponsors. And a huge thank you to those of you working to ensure better outcomes for bladder cancer patients. If you would like to share this broadcast with others, it will soon be available on Beacon's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. Together, we are making a better tomorrow for bladder cancer patients and those who love them. Thank you, everyone.